Hey guys, welcome back to Carib 21 Network. So we're still following the developments going on in Grenada with what is going on between Grenada and the American government, with the American government trying to install military assets in Grenada at the Maurice Bishop International Airport. So the people of Grenada, they're not having it. So today I want to talk about protests in the streets. I also want to talk about a military official that visited Grenada in the past couple of days, and nobody knows what is really going on in Grenada. And also the Prime Minister, Dickon Mitchell, is on an international visit in Ghana, and people are just waiting to see what is really going on in Grenada. And this thing is sad because this week, this month, we're celebrating the 42nd anniversary of the assassination of Maurice Bishop. And I'm not sure if the American government, if they are aware of this, or they even care that during this time, 42 years since the Prime Minister of Grenada was assassinated, and the timing could never be worse for the Americans trying to come and to put Grenada in this type of position. So as I said, I want to take a look at what is going on in Grenada, and the first thing I want to take a look at is some of the protests going on in the streets, because as I said, Grenadians are not having it, and most of the reports that I've done so far, based on what I'm seeing, over 90% of Grenadians seem like they're not for this. They do not want to be involved. They do not want to be involved with the invasion of Venezuela, and they don't want America to use their island to launch any attack on Venezuela. So this is the protest in the streets of Grenada.
Big picture and share. Big picture and share. Big picture and share for your network.
What is your protest about?
This protest is about securing peace in the Caribbean region. This protest is that we should turn our bullets into free food instead. This protest is about time for the uncivilized humanity to become civilized and to become family again. We say no to war with our neighbors. We love our neighbor as ourselves, and we do unto them exactly what we want done unto us. Yeah. We say no to war anywhere, anytime. We have enough challenges for us to meet in peaceful conditions, in peaceful times, with harmony. No to war, and no to militarization of the Caribbean.
Yeah. We want the government to hear our voices. We are the people of Grenada, and what we say matters. The right choices must be made for us today and for our children from generation to generation. Yeah. We are not a people of war. Nope. We are a people of peace, yep. And we want to sustain that peace for many, many years to come. Let the warmongers stay in their spaces and give us our space. We do not want war. We want to live as people with love. Amen. We don't join us, Grenadians, and let your voices be heard. For too long we have been silent, and we will not allow no one or no government to come and tell us what we should do in our country. We want peace, and that is what we want, and that's why we are here today. So one and all, take the message back to your country. We love you. We appreciate your visit here. We will do everything to make you comfortable. But we do not want your wars. Keep your wars in your zones and leave us alone.
We want peace and not war.
All we are saved, and give peace and all we are saved, and give peace a chance.
Okay, and as I said, there are military officials that in Grenada, they are meeting with the law enforcement officials in Grenada, and they are being very tight-lipped. Nothing is being released to the media, so nobody in Grenada have any idea what is really going on. Is this thing going to be approved, or is the government going to stand up and say, no, we are not going to do this? Especially, as I said, the timing could not be worse, because this month they're going to be celebrating the 42nd anniversary of the assassination of Maurice Bishop, and this is just such a bad timing. So this is some of the news coming out of Grenada in terms of military officials from America visiting Grenada to have meetings with their law enforcement in Grenada.
Just say no. That is what organizations in Grenada are saying tonight to its government, which said it was considering a request from the United States to put military assets on the island as the Trump administration looks increasingly at aiming at Venezuela. Many watchers say a U.S. attack inside Venezuela appears imminent, even though for now, Washington's detour is that it is involved in a war against so-called narco-terrorists on the doorsteps of Caracas. A top U.S. military official came calling to St. George's on Wednesday, but whether his visit was just coincidental or linked to the military desire Washington covets was not clear. The Grenadian government has not said anything at news time tonight, and a promised statement on the Admiral's visit did not come. Meanwhile, on social media, many were increasingly questioning the continued absence of Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell, who remains on an unofficial visit to a Ghanaian state. There could be a demonstration in St. George's on Wednesday against acceding to the American demands to use the international airport, a civilian installation named after its revolutionary leader, Maurice Bishop, who was assassinated 42 years ago this week. We have a lot to unpack here, and we have Kalish Trafaria at our news desk.
American military officials leaving police headquarters in Grenada Wednesday after an hour-long meeting with National Security Advisor Willen Thompson, Police Commissioner Randy Connaught, and Deputy Commissioner Jesmond Prince.
Is there any comment on the meeting? How did it go? How did the meeting go?
Great meeting.
Okay. Is anything you can say to us?
No, thank you.
Yes, so as I said, the people in Grenada, they are not having it. They do not want this in their country. And we're not hearing anything from the Prime Minister yet. As I said, the Prime Minister is off on an international trip in Ghana. I don't know if this was planned before this, but he's not in the country. And people are very, very anxious, very nervous. Grenadians are very nervous about what is going on in their country. And they want answers, and nobody's giving them answers. Everything is just tight-lipped at the moment. And this is just crazy. People are even asking for a referendum, saying that the Prime Minister should not make this decision on his own. Just say to the Trump administration, like, look, in a case like this, we're going to have to go to the people and do a referendum. So I don't know what is going to happen, but as I said, like, this is not good for the beautiful, the Spice Island, and people. I can just imagine how people on the ground are nervous today, especially people, those who have lived in 1983, those who lived through the whole invasion in 1983. This is just like, this must be like traumatizing for those people to have lived through that, and now they're hearing about the possibility of a conflict between America and Venezuela, and they are being used, they're being dragged into it. So this is not good. And then now we see the Trump administration now, they're coming out, and Donald Trump is, I don't know, because people, no one is standing up to America and say this cannot be done, this should not be done, because we have seen all the boats that they blew up so far, and no drugs, no sight of drugs anywhere. And Donald Trump, in a recent interview, Donald Trump was asked, why are you blowing up the boat? Why not the traditional way with Coast Guard and go in and seize the illegal substance and get answers for your questions? And this is how Donald Trump answered that question.
Good morning, Michael. And you said it. This would be a major escalation. The Trump administration hasn't provided concrete evidence yet for its strikes on boats off the coast of Venezuela. And now the president is considering going after cartels on land, too. This morning. The president is also authorizing covert CIA action in Venezuela. This morning, President Trump considering U.S. strikes on Venezuelan soil to combat drug cartels.
Well, I don't want to tell you exactly, but we are certainly looking at land now because we've got the sea very well under control.
The president also escalating U.S. operations against Venezuela's authoritarian leader, Nicolas Maduro. Trump confirming he's authorized covert CIA action in the country. But when asked if the agency has the authority to take out Maduro, Trump non-committal.
But I think Venezuela is feeling heat.
In a statement overnight, Venezuela accusing Trump of trying to legitimize a regime change operation to access the country's oil resources, saying they would bring up the matter at the UN Security Council today. It comes after the U.S. carried out its fifth deadly strike on an alleged drug boat off the coast of Venezuela. Trump posting this video on social media, saying 6 male narco-terrorists aboard the vessel were killed in the strike. The Trump administration's operation in the Caribbean first began in early September and has drawn fierce condemnation from Democratic lawmakers who say the strikes risk getting the U.S. into a full-fledged war.
There's lots of people who have been designated terrorists. That does not automatically give the authority to take lethal action.
Asked why he's striking the boats instead of using traditional Coast Guard operations where officers can verify who is on the boat, Trump saying the Coast Guard boats are too slow.
They have faster boats. Some of these boats are seriously, they're world-class speedboats, but they're not faster than missiles.
So far, the administration has provided limited details and no evidence to prove that the 27 people killed were attempting to traffic drugs to the U.S. as they claim.
So there's a 1 in 4 chance, statistically speaking, that one of these boats may not have had any drugs on it. We will never know because they were blown to smithereens.
In a memo obtained by ABC News earlier this month, the administration told Congress that America is in a formal armed conflict and that drug cartels are deemed unlawful combatants.
Okay, so that was Donald Trump. And I must say, this is the first time in my lifetime I'm seeing anything like this where a sitting president is pretty much admitting what they're going to do. And this is just because in the past, like, they would come up with some type of they would not show their hand this way in saying that they're sending in the CIA, pretty much sending in the CIA covert operation to further destabilize the government of Venezuela before they go in. So this is just crazy because we have not seen any case of them going into a country trying to liberate the country and the country got any better. We saw what happened in Afghanistan and we saw when the American government went in, women and girls were able to go to school, and after they went in and did what they did and the Taliban took over, and now women and young girls cannot be educated in that country anymore. So we see all of these countries that the American government go into. We see with Haiti, we see all of the other countries and just destabilize them, and they never recover for decades. And that is not good for the Caribbean, especially with Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana in such close proximity to Venezuela. So guys, sound off in the comment section and let me know your thoughts on this. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think the American government, do you think the Trump administration is really going to go in and invade Venezuela? And could this, because I don't know, Donald Trump is talking about Nobel Peace Prize, like he wanted the Nobel Peace Prize, but we are steering down what could be another World War III, because Russia and China could get involved. And just imagine if both Russia and China get involved with this conflict with Venezuela, what we are steering down in the Caribbean. So the whole idea of the Caribbean being a zone of peace is just all blowed up right now in the water, because this is just not looking good. So guys, sound off in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on this one. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. And remember, peace. I'm out.